I am so weird because I don't mind paying taxes, and I mean local taxes, because I see where it goes. This was not always a park. It was once a landfill. Garbage. Speaking about garbage, recently a politician ran for office and won because he promised no taxes and a reduction of government spending. Now, many communities are upset because not only the urban area schools have been affected, which would have been fine with them, but alas, the suburbs too. The same people who voted for him are now upset. We have become captive of one-liners thanks to lazy journalism and even lazier citizens. We get upset when we, collectively, have been asked to help the less fortunate, and we fight against anything that seems to take pennies away from our fortunes. In every election, we, collectively speaking, get exactly what we deserve as voters, if we insist on not thinking for ourselves. Yet, we all welcome the benefits. Speaking of benefits, we asked for more playgrounds, and our collective taxes build beautiful playgrounds that are rarely used. Why? It is a lot easier to have your child sit and watch TV, be inactive and lazy, and get fat. After all, every night on the evening news we are warned of strangers in the playground, or tarnished neighbors, people not to be trusted, enemies everywhere. And since the newsreaders love it when we stay indoors, the better to watch TV. After all, there is a method to their madness, and there is a reason why fear sells. And fear's companion is hate. The better for the advertisers. If you don't read and your only source of information is television, how else will you know what the truth is? One first lady is trying to get kids to move, get the kids to get off their rear end and exercise. Of course, she failed at her attempts because money talks. Advertisers spend a lot of money, and the newsreader's job is to keep the kids and you glued to the TV. Mount Trashmore is an example of landfill reuse, as its creation consisted of the conversion of an abandoned landfill into a park. Trashmore spans 165 acres, with hills over 60 feet tall, over 800 feet long. Of course, facilities include 4 large and 11 small picnic shelters, playground areas, a basketball court, 4 volleyball courts, or volleyball areas really, vending machines and restrooms. Trashmore also has multiple walking trails, a perimeter trail which measures 1.95 miles, a lake trail which measures 1.45 miles, and a mountain trail that measures 1.3 miles. The lake trail and the hill trail may be combined for a trail measuring 2.75 miles. These trails are always being used as not only jogging, but walking. Now you understand why I said that the First Lady was simply not talking to these people, that is, the people who use Mount Trashmore on a daily basis. The park also features 2 lakes where fishing is permitted. Since its opening in the 1970s, it ranks as the most popular park in Virginia Beach, with attendance of over 1 million visitors a year. The things we do when we put our minds to it, and we have a people with a vision.
What's that guy doing? I'm losing wind.
On my Facebook page, I requested inputs on parks. Mike Heat suggested Gordon and Rosa. Gordon Parks, the American director, cinematographer, producer, and excellent frequent contributor to Life magazine. Rosa Parks, of course, the American civil rights icon. The suggestions were great. The error in not being clear was mine. I was speaking of our park system. Whether they are for entertainment, family fun, or as nature preserves, were it not for the visions of honest politicians, those with integrity and a true love for country, these parks would not exist, because in every instance, objections came from those unwilling to pay taxes, and more disgraceful, politicians willing to pander to these people. I understand absolutely the objections to the waste of taxes. I object myself, but not to the popular stance of not paying taxes. After all, without visions, the people will perish, and many visions for our children's sake require taxes. Thanks also to Facebook, my friend Craig Cairo reminded me of the words of George Washington Carver. Readers know exactly who I'm talking about. People who rely entirely on TV for their education may not. Be that as it may, Craig Kyra reminded me of George Washington Carver's words, and I quote, "Reading about nature is fine, but if a person walks in the woods and listens carefully, he can learn more than what is in the books, for they speak with the voice of God." Sometimes a politician with a vision will put people to work, using taxpayers' money for the greater good of the citizens and the country. Roosevelt, with the TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority, gave us electricity. Eisenhower, with the building of American highways, gave us excellent roads back then. And in Norfolk, Virginia, Representative Norman H. Hamilton, who, back in 1938, with a grant of $76,278, built the Azalea Garden Project. 200 African-American women were assigned to the project, and at 25 cents an hour, working from dawn to dusk, they did it. Where there is no vision, the people will perish.